Hello YouTube, it's Atticus. How we doing? Back with you with one more Dark Elf versus Skaven game, guys. So yeah, this is one other build to help you with this matchup. One that I think is kind of different, kind of fun to play, and it's all about the lore of Dark. So as you can see here, guys, I've taken both a Supreme Sorceress and a Sorceress of Dark. So I'm going to have a lot of DPS spells. So for the Supreme Sorceress, I take Doombolt and Blade Wind. And that's it. You just take that on Power of Darkness to get more Winds of Magic. But yeah, I'm just going to go really heavily on the overcasted Doombolt and the Blade Wind. And just try to shred through the ranks of the Skaven. For the normal Sorceress, same thing. Blade Wind and Doombolt. And, you know, you'll get a lot of castings from these, you know, especially since you're just going really, you know, these are both pretty cheap spells. Like, what, 10 Winds of Magic? So you should at least get like 5 or 6, you know, DPS heavy spells, depending on if you overcast it. Also, I have the Black Horror on the Supreme Sorceress, which will come in handy, you know, once the Skaven groups up. And yeah, so we're just going to be trying to do a lot of damage with these two ladies and hopefully be able to crush through the lines of the Skaven. For my front line, guys, we are just going bleak swords and we're trying some hand bows, but we're trying them in the middle this time. Usually I have them on the outskirts of the flanks of each battle right here to try to lure away rat ogres and things like that, but I figured if I put these guys in the middle, maybe if he has like plague monks or things like that, these guys would be able to do a lot of damage. They'll be able to deal with help hit abominations, rat ogres, anything. So yeah, I'm going to try them in the middle and see how they perform. Also, guys, 2 bolt throwers, which is always a good pick in this matchup, just because bolt throwers obviously counter artillery. So yeah, if your Skaven opponent brings artillery, he'll either have to shoot the bolt throwers or take the damage, and you'll end up just sniping the whole unit. These guys will be really good on their multi-shot shooting weapons teams as well, Storm Vermin. But yeah, my opponent did bring a Warlock Master and a Doom Wheel, so that's obviously going to be a nice juicy target. And last but not least, well, I guess we have a few more things. The real killing potential, though, of course, will be our Sisters of Slaughter. These ladies are the bane of anything Skaven. They could pretty much just destroy any unit the Skaven have. Even rat ogres they do pretty good against. And last but not least, we have the Blackguard and Nagaron, guys. And here in Deep Vanguard, we have 2 units of Dark Riders. Couldn't afford the shields, unfortunately, so we're just going to go with the cheapos, the Walmart Dark Riders, and yeah, hopefully these guys will be able to get into these 2 Rattling Gunner teams once my opponent, you know, stops defending him, or if he, you know, if I find an opening. So that's my build. That's my 4th anti-Skaven build for you guys. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. For my opponent, we are fighting, as I said previously, the Warlock Master up on the Doom Wheel. So yeah, he's pretty much Ikit Claw, but just a little bit cheaper. So yeah, I mean, he's going to be powerful, and a really infantry-focused build like this, he will do really good, since I don't have any anti-large again besides this Blackguard and Nagaron. But those bolt throwers are going to be a pain to him, so he really needs to be patient and not, you know, let those guys get sniped. Front line of Skaven slaves, but we also have the Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers. So yeah, fire damage, really good against Hydras. Anything with regeneration, these guys will do pretty good. Secondary line, guys, we have more Skaven slaves. Looks like there's a whole bunch of Skaven slaves and some clan rats. So really interesting build. My opponent's just trying to swarm me down by numbers and, yeah, allow his more powerful units to shoot me, I suppose. He has 2 units of, well, one of them is the Teeth Breakers. So he has the Teeth Breakers and the normal Rattling Gunners right here, guys. And he also has the Dwarf Thing Menace. So these guys are really powerful with their armor sundering. They do really good against things like the Blackguard, and you know, if you're hitting them from behind and things like that, you want to cycle charge with those guys and not leave them in sustained combat. Then we have some Storm Vermin here, guys. We got a Halberd and we got a Sword and Shield, and last but not least, we have a Warp Lock. We have a Warp Lightning Cannon. So that's the match, and we'll see how it, you know, goes. So right off the start, as the Mountaintop said to the Sloth, I don't know, I think I might have used that one. As the Oreo said to the glass of milk. There we go. Yeah, you can see that I'm going to notice that, yeah, I have the artillery advantage. We're going to move up the bolt throwers, and yeah, we're going to instantly start focusing down the Warp Lock, I keep calling them the Warp Lock, the Warp Lightning Cannon, guys. I mean, bolt throwers are the perfect counter to artillery pieces, and you can see we're just getting some really good shots in, guys. We've already destroyed 1 model. You know, how cool is that? How much value is that? I mean, these things are, what, 900, 1100, you know, points? And also, every time I miss, it's hitting these Storm Vermin, so it's doing a little bit of extra damage as well. You can see that I'm not even going to rush my army up, guys. I figured if my opponent wants to stay put, I'll take that trade any day. And you can see that my bolt throwers are just shredding through. We're hitting both his ground troops and the artillery piece. And there goes a second artillery piece. So yeah, looking really good for us. You can see that my Dark Riders right here are being patient. I have each one on the side. But here comes the first spell from my Supreme Sorceress. We're going to get an Overcasted Doombolt. We'll see how it does. Here comes the first one. Boom. So we killed 2 models. Maybe not the best. Maybe I think these guys are a little bit too scattered out. Maybe it'd been better against, storm vermin and things like that. But it's okay. We have lots of winds of magic to spare. You can see we've absolutely just destroyed all these bolt throwers. So yeah, we're gonna start focusing now on the Warplock Master here pretty shortly. As you can see, my opponent, yeah, he has this long area to traverse. I am going to try to get a charge in with my Dark Riders. I was trying to go for these Deathglow Bombardiers, who I forgot to mention, and we are going to get a few hits on them, guys. You can see my opponent's just getting peppered, though, with the Warplock Master. And another thing what I'm doing with these guys is I'm disrupting his formation. So, yeah, you disrupt the formation, makes him kind of mess up his strategy. And yeah, as you can see right here comes the Black Horror from the Supreme Sorceress. I see this big juicy glob right here of rats, and we'll see if we get any kills. So there it goes. I do a Blade Wind for good effect, guys, and yeah, the Black Horror comes and just absolutely just shreds through the line. You can see we break almost 2 units instantly. So yeah, we're just really using all that magic to good effect. You can see my opponent is guarding that last Warp Lightning Cannon, but he only has 1 more, so I'm not too concerned about it. And you can see our front lines are getting ready to collide, guys. You can see the Bleak Swords are going to fight amongst the Skaven slaves, but he really needs to get his weapon teams up and firing, because if you're just going to have a bunch of Skaven slaves and clan rats and things like that, you need to get your powerful units, your range units shooting to make up the difference. You can see all he's doing is he's grouping up. He has the Storm Vermin and things like that who are just holding things in place. These weapon teams are going to open up on these Sisters of Slaughter. They're not facing the shield, so yeah, these guys are going to absolutely get shredded. But yeah, here comes the second Doombolt, guys, and you can see that his Difficult Bombardiers are shooting into the Blackguard. They're doing a lot of damage, and yeah, we're going to head and see what the damage on this one is. So yeah, that was much, much better. We took him down to almost half health, and things are looking really good for us. You can see that he does get one of his lightning spells right here on my glob of Bleak Swords, and yeah, some of his weapon teams are shooting. He's unloading onto these Blackguard and Nagron guys who are getting absolutely just melted. And you can see he's kind of stabilized here in the back, so he does have a really scary pocket of units that are still alive. I forgot to mention he did have Warp Thrower weapons team, so it's like he brought a little bit of everything, guys. He's really going for some variety. You can see that his Warlock Master, though, is getting focused by my Bolt Throwers and by my Supreme Sorceress. We're just trying to melt him, trying to get his leadership the route. You can see that I am starting to come into the back line right here, guys. I have the full health unit of Sister Slaughters, who will absolutely just shred through most of the units, and I am going to switch my Bolt Throwers to multi-shots. So yeah, I'm going to start shooting these weapon teams, and eventually the Storm Vermin of Halberd, who he really needs to get into combat. You can see my opponent gets a really good Warp Lightning into these Bleak Swords, and yeah, but the floodgates are open, guys. You can see the Sisters of Slaughters now are into the weapons team. Balance power is really strongly in my favor, and you can see, yeah, that's how you beat this Skaven. Once you break their front line, get into their back line, I mean, 9 times out of 10, guys, it's going to be yours. And he's just going to go ahead and just leave, and that's going to be a victory for the Druki. So we'll go ahead and look at the in-screen breakdown and talk about some of the keys for my success, which, yeah, the Bolt Throwers, I mean, it's always a good counter to Skaven artillery. Also, I mean, look at that, 148 kills, 43, it's not bad for Lore of Dark. You know, I think Lore of Dark is really good for damage. I mean, I think a lot of people overlook it. If you overcast those spells, it will actually destroy some units. Now, I did make a mistake wasting it on a weapons team. They're too spread out. You want to, do like on Storm Vermin. You saw that one Doom Bolt took Storm Vermin almost down to, half health, killed at least 10 different models. Sisters of Slaughter did their job. Bleak Swords held things in place, and yeah, I mean, of course, the Blacker Corsairs, they always pay for themselves. They're always good. They're always an assurance policy against Rat Ogres. As for Mix last year, very interesting build. I mean, he had a little bit of everything. Like, I do appreciate the variety, but yeah, I kind of disrupt his formation with those Dark Riders in the back. When he sent his front line of Skaven slaves and rats and all them to attack, he didn't have the support of his weapon teams, which allowed me to actually shred through them and then just, bypass his back line. His Dwarf Things Menace, I didn't really even see them in the battle doing that much damage, but he did get some good spells with the Warlock Master. He got a few lightning attacks and things like that. But yeah, that's just another build, guys. A different way. You can experiment with the the lower magics that you want, but yeah, try Lore of Dark. Try the Bolt Throwers, the counter artillery. Try the different formations. So, all right, guys, it's Atticus. I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope that helps, and I will see you next time. Bye bye now.